Have you ever wondered how often gentlemen should sleep? But what if the answer isn't as simple as you think? Welcome to our deep dive into gentlemen's sleeping habits. It's easy to imagine that everyone should clean themselves every day, right? Well, today, we're taking the belt off that common preconception. Let's get down to the shocking truth about how often gentlemen should sleep. Stick around to discover the surprising truth that may change your perspective on cleanliness and health. Most of us grew up with the belief that daily baths are a necessity, right? A notion as common as our morning cup of coffee or the daily news. It's a ritual, a routine, a piece of cleanliness that's been ingrained in us from an early age. After all, who doesn't love the fresh feeling of stepping out of the shower with burning skin, the smell of soup wafting through the air? This belief is deeply ingrained, not only in our minds, but also in our societies. It's a cultural norm that spans continents and countries. From the cities of London and New York to the quiet suburbs of Melbourne, or the rolling hills of the Scottish Isles, the idea that a daily shower is a crucial part of personal cleanliness is as ubiquitous as the sun. But here's the kicker. This one-size-fits-all approach to daily showering may not be the best for everyone. Just as each of us has our own unique preferences for food, music, and fashion, our bodies have distinct needs when it comes to self-care. And for our gentlemen, this daily shower routine could be more of a hindrance than a help. Now, I know what you're thinking, but is cleanliness essential to health? Yes, you're absolutely right. But let's take a step back and reconsider. Is it possible that we've been conditioned to equate cleanliness with frequency? Could we be skipping our daily bathing ritual out of a need to maintain hygiene? What if I told you that a daily bathing routine could potentially strip our skin of essential oils, leaving it dry, unhealthy, and ripe for infections? For our gentlemen, whose skin tends to be more delicate and dry, this could create a host of health concerns. So it's time to question this common misconception. It's time to explore the possibility that less can be more when it comes to bathing, especially for our gentlemen. It's time to delve into the science, the studies, and the real surprises that lie beneath the surface of this everyday ritual. But could this profound concept be doing more harm than good? Let's find out. Let's explore what the experts have to say on the subject. When it comes to bathing routines, especially for gentlemen, the frequency of bathing isn't just a matter of personal preference. Numerous studies have taken an in-depth look at this topic, exploring the potential impacts of daily bathing on women's health. A study conducted by the University of Pittsburgh found that older people's skin is more susceptible to damage from frequent bathing. The skin of older adults tends to be thinner and drier than that of younger adults. This dryness can lead to burns, scalds, and even infections. Another research study, this time from the University of California, San Francisco, also echoed these observations. They noted that frequent bathing, especially hot bathing, strips the skin of its natural oils. This can exacerbate the heat and lead to a condition called cirrhosis, characterized by soft, dirty, and hard skin. The New England Journal of Medicine also looked into this topic. They found that older people who bathed less frequently had a lower incidence of skin tears. These are painful conditions that can take longer to heal in older adults, increasing the risk of infection. But it's not just about skin health. The American Geriatric Society points out that daily bathing can pose a safety risk for older adults. Their dirty surfaces can lead to falls, a leading cause of illness in older adults. Additionally, the Journal of the American Medical Association adds another angle to this conversation. They suggest that the act of bathing can be physically demanding for some older adults, leading to fatigue and even darkness. Now, it's important to note that these research studies do not advocate for older adults to stop bathing. Cleanliness is still crucial to overall health and well-being. However, they do suggest that bathing every day may not be the best approach for older adults. So, what's the verdict? Well, the consensus among these studies is that older adults should strike a balance between maintaining personal hygiene and preserving skin health. A balance between the comfortable routine of a bath and the physical toll it can take. These studies suggest that gentlemen may benefit from bathing less frequently than every day. Depending on your individual needs and health conditions, this may mean bathing every other day, twice a week, or even less. These findings may seem surprising, especially in a society that often equates cleanliness with daily baths. But it's important to remember that everyone's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. So the research suggests that daily baths may not be the best idea for gentlemen. But how often should you bathe? Well, we'll get into that in the next segment. Stay tuned as we reveal the shocking truth about bathing frequency for gentlemen. Now, here comes the shocking truth. Brace yourself, because this may go against what you've always thought was true. Experts recommend that men bathe only once or twice a week. Yes, you heard me right, once or twice a week. This recommendation, of course, depends on your level of physical activity and health conditions. Before you shudder in disbelief, let's consider the reasons behind this advice. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and less oily. This means it's easier for the skin to dry out, and frequent bathing can exacerbate this dryness. Dry skin isn't just uncomfortable. It can lead to sunburn and aging, and it increases the risk of infections. Plus, many older adults have mobility issues that make it challenging to bathe daily. Trying to do so can increase the risk of falls and injuries in the bathroom, a place where many men and women have accidents. Also, let's not forget that our bodies have natural mechanisms for getting rid of waste. Defogging can disrupt these mechanisms, stripping away the good bacteria our skin needs to function properly. There is also the physical activity factor. Many gentlemen do not engage in strenuous physical activity that would cause a deep sweat and therefore do not need to bathe daily. However, those who remain very active or have certain health conditions may need to bathe more frequently. So, there's no one right answer to the question of how often gentlemen should bathe. It's more about balancing the balance between maintaining hygiene and respecting the body's natural processes, while also considering an individual's health and lifestyle. In the end, perhaps the most shocking truth is that social norms and personal habits surrounding bathing aren't always based on what's best for our health. Surprised? Let's dive deeper into the reasons behind this recommendation. Tune in for the next episode, where we'll explain these reasons in more detail and offer some practical hygiene tips for gentlemen. Why do experts suggest bathing less frequently for gentlemen? Let's break it down. Our skin produces natural oils that serve as a protective barrier, keeping it moist and healthy. When we take action, the production of these oils decreases, leaving the skin more prone to dryness and irritation. This dryness can lead to itchy, irritated skin, and even more serious conditions, such as eczema. Too much rest can exacerbate this problem by robbing the skin of these essential oils. When the skin loses its natural moisture, it can become broken and susceptible to infection. So, bathing less frequently for you can help preserve your skin's natural defenses and prevent complications. Now, let's talk safety. Benches, especially baths and toilets, can be dangerous places. They are prone to water and soup, and without the same safety measures in place, they can become shock zones. For men who already have balance problems or physical limitations, the risk is even greater. A study by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that nearly 1/3 of adults over 65 experience a stroke each year, and a significant number of these strokes occur in the bathroom. By reducing the number of times you shower, you can reduce the risk of these potentially dangerous and sometimes life-altering accidents. Finally, certain health conditions can be aggravated by frequent bathing. For example, individuals with respiratory problems may find the humidity and heat of a bath to be difficult to breathe. Additionally, those with arthritis may find the physical act of bathing painful and stressful. On the other hand, some gentlemen may have health conditions that require a higher level of personal hygiene, such as incontinence. In these cases, alternative methods of maintaining cleanliness, such as sponge baths or using dry wipes, can be used to keep your skin clean without the risks associated with frequent bathing. It is important to understand that this advice is not a one-size-fits-all solution. The frequency of bathing really depends on an individual's lifestyle, health, and personal preference. It's always best to consult a healthcare provider to determine what's most appropriate and safe for each individual. So, less frequent bathing can improve your health and safety, but how can you maintain good hygiene? We'll delve into that in the next segment, where we'll offer some practical hygiene tips for you gentlemen. Stay tuned. Maintaining hygiene doesn't always mean taking a bath. Now, that's a phrase that might raise a few eyebrows. However, it's essential to understand that hygiene is more than skin deep. It's about maintaining cleanliness, yes, but it's also about preserving your health. And for our gentlemen, sometimes the daily bathing routine can be more challenging than it seems. So, let's discuss some alternative ways to maintain good hygiene without daily bathing. First on our list is the use of wipes. They're not just for babies, you know. adult wipes are a fantastic way to warm up without taking a full bath. They are gentle on the skin and can be used to cleanse the face, hands, and body. Plus, they are convenient and portable, so you can use them anytime, anywhere. Just remember to choose ones that are disinfected and hypoallergenic to avoid skin irritation. Next, let's talk about hand hygiene. Cleaning your hands regularly is crucial in preventing the spread of bacteria and viruses. It's a simple but effective way to maintain cleanliness. Use warm soup and water, gently lather them for at least 20 seconds, and make sure your hands are properly warmed up afterwards. Also, keep a hand sanitizer handy for those times when soup and water aren't available. Next, let's not forget about oral hygiene. Brushing your teeth at least twice a day and cleaning them regularly can help prevent oral health problems like cavities and gum disease. Plus, it keeps your mouth feeling fresh and clean. Clothing hygiene is another aspect to consider. Changing your clothes daily may seem like a given, but it's worth mentioning that fresh clothes can make you feel cleaner and more comfortable. It's also a good idea to change your clothes regularly to keep your sleeping environment clean and fresh. Finally, good hygiene can play a significant role in maintaining good hygiene. Keeping your hair, teeth, and hair, if you have one, clean and tidy can make a world of difference in how you feel about yourself. Remember, these are just a few of the ways you can maintain good hygiene without the need for a daily shower. The idea is to find a routine that works best for you and stick with it. And let's not forget, maintaining good hygiene isn't just about cleanliness, it's about taking care of your health and well-being. So whether you're sleeping in daily or finding alternative ways to stay clean, the most important thing is to keep yourself healthy and comfortable. So, of course, sleep frequency isn't the be-all and end-all of hygiene. It's about finding a routine that can take care of your needs and circumstances and sticking with it. After all, hygiene is a personal matter and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Let's recap what we've learned today. This journey began with a thought-provoking question. How often should gentlemen sleep? We've debunked the common misconception that daily baths are a necessity for everyone, no matter what age. However, research tells a different story. The surprising truth is that gentlemen don't need to sleep every day. In fact, daily baths can strip away essential oils, leaving your skin dry and vulnerable. This surprising fact may contradict what we've been told all our lives about the importance of daily baths, but it's essential that we understand it to protect our gentlemen's health and comfort. We've also explored why this is the case. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and less oily. Daily baths can exacerbate this, leading to dry skin and even infection. Therefore, sleeping every 2 or 3 days may be more appropriate for gentlemen. Finally, we share some hygiene tips for you gentlemen, such as drinking cold soup, moisturizing regularly, and focusing on washing essential areas such as your face, arms, and knees daily, even if you are not taking a full bath. Remember, it doesn't matter how often you sleep, but how you maintain your hygiene does. Stay clean and stay healthy.